All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about the incredible, dynamic system that's literally holding you up right now, your skeleton. We are about to meet the unsung hero working inside you 24/7. So let's get to it. You know, we tend to think of our skeleton as this static, kind of boring frame, right? Something you see in a science classroom. But what if it had a secret resume? A list of jobs and skills that go way, way beyond just being a coat rack for our muscles. Well, it turns out it does, and its resume is seriously impressive. So yeah, let's look past that Halloween decoration vibe. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden roles of your skeleton and see it for what it truly is, a living, active, and absolutely essential system.
To really wrap our heads around this biological marvel, we're going to look at its job description. Because it turns out your skeleton is multitasking all the time, performing 4 huge critical functions for your body.
So here they are, the 4 main gigs on that resume. First, support and shape. Then, movement. After that, protection for your most vital organs. And finally, production. Yep, you heard that right. Let's break each one down.
First up, your skeleton is the architect. It's the fundamental framework that gives your body its shape. It creates a sturdy structure for all your muscles to attach to and a safe place for your organs to be housed. I mean, just think about your spine. It's the central pillar that holds up your body's weight and lets you stand upright. Without it, we'd all just be puddles on the floor.
Next role, the engineer. See, your bones aren't just static poles. They're an incredibly sophisticated system of levers. Your muscles attach to your bones with tendons, and when a muscle contracts, it pulls on the bone to create movement at a joint. Every single step you take, every time you lift your coffee cup, that's your muscular and skeletal systems working together in perfect harmony.
Job number 3 is the bodyguard. And this one is so important. Your body has some very delicate, very crucial organs. So your skeleton forms this amazing natural suit of armor to protect them. The most obvious example? Your cranium, which is basically a hard helmet for your brain. And of course, you've got your ribs and sternum creating a protective cage around your heart and lungs. And finally, the factory. Now this is the one that might just blow your mind. Deep inside your larger bones, like your femur and pelvis, there's this amazing stuff called red bone marrow. This marrow is a production powerhouse, churning out the red blood cells that carry oxygen all through your body. So yeah, your skeleton is literally producing life-sustaining cells every single day. Okay, so now that we know the 4 big jobs, let's meet some of the key employees, right? Let's take a quick tour of the major bones that make all of this incredible work happen.
Starting at the very top, we've got the cranium, your skull. And like we said, its #1 job is protection, pure and simple. It's the perfect example of a flat bone designed to form a tough, protective bubble for the most important organ we have, the brain.
Moving down to the core of the body, we have the torso team. You've got the clavicle, or collarbone, and the scapula at the shoulder. Then you have the ribs doing that vital protection job, the vertebrae all stacked up to form that supportive spine, and the pelvis, which is this crucial anchor point for major muscles.
Now, in the arms, we find the humerus in the upper arm, and then the radius and ulna down in the forearm. These long bones are the primary levers for pretty much all your upper body movement. Lifting, pulling, reaching, they are absolutely built for action.
Okay, let's talk about the absolute superstar of the skeletal system, the femur. This is the longest and the strongest bone in your entire body. It's a total powerhouse for movement, but remember, it's also one of those key factories, packed with red bone marrow, just cranking out blood cells.
Continuing down the leg, we hit the patella, the kneecap, which protects that super important knee joint. Then we have the 2 long bones of the lower leg, the bigger tibia, your shin bone, and the smaller fibula right next to it. Together, they form the foundation that allows for all of our walking, running, and jumping.
And finally, we get to the really intricate machinery of the hands and feet. I mean, look at this. They're made up of a whole collection of smaller bones. You've got carpals and tarsals near the wrist and ankle, metacarpals and metatarsals in the palm and foot, and the phalanges in our fingers and toes. They provide support, sure, but they also allow for incredibly fine, precise movements.
Now, what's really fascinating about all this is that these bones aren't all shaped the same, not by a long shot, and there's a fundamental principle at work here. A bone's shape, its form, is perfectly suited to its specific job, its function.
This table lays it all out just perfectly. As you can see, we basically classify bones into 4 main types. You've got long bones, like the femur, that act as levers for movement. Then short bones, like the carpals in your wrist, which are all about support and those finer movements. You have flat bones, like the cranium, built for protection.
And then you have irregular bones, like the vertebrae, which have these really unique shapes for very specific jobs.
Let's just compare two of these head-to-head to really see what we mean. On the left, you have long bones, built for power and big movements. On the right, flat bones, designed to be shields or these broad anchor points for muscles. They're two completely different designs for two completely different but equally important jobs. It's a perfect case of form following function. So, after our little tour, what's the big idea here? What's the one crucial takeaway we should all remember about our own inner framework?
It's this: your skeleton is so much more than a static structure. It is a living, active system that is constantly rebuilding itself, supporting you, protecting you, moving you, and producing for you every second of every day. It truly is one of your body's greatest unsung heroes.
And that leaves me with one last thought for you. Now that we've taken a moment to appreciate the secret life of our bones, what other part of your body might you be taking for granted? What other unsung hero is working inside you right now, just waiting for you to get curious about it?